These are the shortest end spikes you can find. Well, this is a hole in the main end island, and even more strangely, this is an end with no end island and a dragon which fights you over the void. How did any of this happen? Well, hello, I'm IBXToyCat, and I got thinking recently about how greater than 99% of Minecraft seeds focus exclusively on how they change the overworld. This is despite the fact that 2/3 of your land area is in the Nether and the End, and although there are some interesting Nether seeds that exist, I just couldn't find any decent end ones, which is why, with the help of Crack Magnet, today we've created our own. These are brand new end seeds that have never been seen before, and after you see the first, you're going to want to see more. So without further ado, let's jump into the first seed, which you might not necessarily know is special at first glance. It looks like it's just an iceberg biome with some mountains nearby, but actually it's quite special for having a mushroom biome just over to the side there, and also for just behind you having an NPC village. This is a very wild thing because it makes it possible for this fun thing. If we do a locate structure stronghold, you'll realize that it is just below me, found right over here below the center of the village. If we then dig down below this, you'll notice very quickly that there is in fact a stronghold right here, and not just any stronghold but a huge one too. Look at the size of this thing and really the depths that it covers. This is a ridiculously sized one that does have an end portal, which guess what, we can choose to go through. And then look what we find on the other side. It's an end island, but it's an end island with a fun little twist, which you'll notice as we come closer to the end portal. So this is where the dragon is normally, as everyone would expect. However, these towers are exceptionally low. All of these towers are as low as Minecraft can possibly generate them, which results in a tower right over here, which you barely need to climb up to reach. Look at this. It's so hilariously low. Even this one, which is encased in iron, these usually try to generate super high up, sometimes requiring most of a stack to get to. This one is barely 10 blocks above the ground. I love seeing these ridiculously tiny heights. Look at this one over here. They're so short, they're so tiny, and this is a great end for someone who wants to actually use a bow to take down all of the towers, because you can do it here with relative ease, no ridiculously angled shots required, just shoot them all down nice and easy. I love to show this one off as just a way of technically making the end easier, because the next seed certainly doesn't do that. So this second seed has a really pleasing spawn to my mind, because you've got sugarcane right there, we've got a beach, we've got turtles, and we've also got a village. This village has something fairly predictable below it. Every single seed I'm showing today, because it's an end seed, Crack Magnet has come through the effort of making sure they all specifically have strongholds below spawn, but it is worth mentioning, even if you didn't care about the village and the stronghold, this would be really good overworld terrain in terms of the amount of planes that you get. If you wanted to start a long-term world, this might be a good way to do that. I mean, at least for the overworld portion of things, because let's go underground, where you'll notice there's actually multiple storage rooms, which didn't come up in the ultimate guide to the strongholds, but you can see there's lots of chests that you would expect from the place, and then there is an end portal, conveniently enough, with 2 IF enders already in. If you were to go into this end is so hilariously broken for multiple reasons. One of those is the fact that you spawn on an obsidian island, which is so far from the mainland, you stand no chance of ever making it if you didn't bring blocks, which is always funny in my point. I also think it's funny that this end spike is so exposed, but let me show you something else that's fun that you might have spotted in the corner of your eye just now, which is the main end portal to get out of this end. This would make a very interesting world spawn because of the fact that there is a hole in the main end island. Why did the hole generate here? I'm not sure, but it results in these end caves, something which, you know, we've all been asking for an end update. Looks like Minecraft has long since provided it, and even crazier than that is the fact that down here at the bottom is where the end thing actually generated, which is so spooky, because get this right, if you were to kill the Ender Dragon, as I'll simulate right now by killing all entities, something very weird would happen, which is that getting out of this end would become a little bit spooky, to say the least. To show you what I mean by that, this is the end portal back to the overworld, and this is the bottom of the world. Look how bizarre that is to experience. Most people never get to, but that means that you have to really have faith the game isn't going to suffocate you, and you are going to make it, which I think is absolutely beautiful, and which I also think is absolutely insane. If they change the height limit of the end later, I think you could do some really cool things with this seed being loaded up now. For now, it feels risky, but technically it doesn't need to be. When you fall off down here, you are entirely fine. You've just really got to make sure you stick the landing. I do think one of the biggest benefits of this seed is it would allow you to, hypothetically, mine some of this end stone or use some deep slate, whatever block you've got a ton of, and you could build a whole second end down here if you wanted to. I think this is so inspiring for a new new long-term world that I genuinely want to take advantage of it myself. But you know, there's one seed which I find even more interesting than this one. This seed is incredible because you spawn on top of a woodland mansion with mountain views in the background, and even better, it's the second floor of a woodland mansion, which means you can break down if you want to, but also you have easy access, so you can break in there and get zombies killed, or, you know, realistically, you can go into the secret room you'll find right over here, and you can take full advantage of the woodland mansion. But even better than that is the fact that when you continue on further, you'll see it's so close to a village. Why did the village set up so close to the woodland mansion? Lore-wise, it makes no sense, but you get a giant ocean, as well as a mountain, as well as a cherry grove, as well as this ruined portal right here in this village. But even better than all of that is what happens when we go to the end. Oh, look at all these rabbits together, how cute. So you're not going to believe what's happening here unless I literally show you the entire thing. When we dig down below this village, you already know it's going to be a stronghold. You might not expect that it's a really cool stronghold with it's it's actually going into multiple ravines, as you can see right here. It's a really astounding place to look around if you ever want to do that. It's a great stronghold for that experience, and it's not that far from a mine shaft. I love this by itself, but if we just go to the end portal, you'll find something even more drastic, which is right through here. So the end portal is already in the middle of a ravine. It's been a while since I've seen a seed like this, but get what happens when we go into the actual portal. So all we have to do for this is type in Eye of Ender, grab ourselves one, and I'm keeping this as one long continuous cut because you might not believe what you're about to see otherwise. So this is me going to the end. It's loading up into it gives me that fun little end loading screen. This is an interesting end, right? Get this, you spawn and there's a big end island around you, except obviously that's not the whole thing. The whole thing is that you see this is what your end looks like. The end island is not just missing a hole in the center, it's missing everything around it. So you still can walk technically and get up to all of the towers, but actually killing the dragon on this seed is such a challenge above that, because you need to get down there, which requires a lot of ladders or a lot of like clever placement like this. You need to get down to that bottom safely, and then you need to get over to where the end dragon is, knowing that if she knocks you off, she doesn't just do some full damage to you or hurt you, she actively ends your game and ruins everything that you have with you. This is an insane, oh god, that's scary. This is an insane end on so many levels, and I just have to experience it for myself. I just need to know, what is it like to try and kill the dragon on a seed like this? You need to bring so many more blocks of you to the end. You need to be so much more prepared, because even on these outer end islands, getting knocked in the wrong direction, you can see it's fairly thin. One knock of 10 blocks that way, your life is over. But also, kind of on the fair side of this, it means that you have to go way higher to get to the towers, which can be a protection or a dooming in its own right. But also then there are no endermen around the main island. So is this a good thing? Definitely not. But is it a fun thing? Heck yes. I need to know what it's like, and yeah, this is a challenge I just immediately have to experience. Do you see the way the Ender Dragon comes down? It's terrifying, but in the best way possible. And then yeah, once you do complete this, you would have the free range to make a beautiful end of your own right, which just, again, it seems too fun. Maybe, would you like to see this as a series? Because if so, think to yourself, wouldn't it be more fun if there was a way to go even more crazy? And if so, how about this fourth end seed, which I'll show you right now? She climbs up so fast. You might spot the similarities between this and the last seed because you spawn on what looks like some dark oak planks, and it looks like a very similar experience, but actually no, you're on top of a pillager outpost. This is fun enough by itself, in my opinion, but you spawn much closer to the mountain with another one in the distance, and also closer to that village, which has a blacksmith chest. This is a big win as a survival player, although, realistically, surviving this on hardcore would be such a fun challenge. Like, if you're saying to yourself, oh yeah, no natural regeneration, and also, if I die, the world ends, this is the easiest way to have a hectic spawn experience. It does have to be said. Oh, and by the way, for something even more insane, let me show you something else around the spawn. So you spawn on this pillager outpost, and there is a village nearby, but it's not the only structure that you can find. Look at this, it's an igloo in the side of a mountain. What a bizarre place to get one, and as you can see, it's not just the side bits of an igloo, it's a full igloo hiding in there. What were the people thinking when they decided to build this? I'm not entirely sure, but it is a very fun thing to be able to find, and if you want to live in an igloo, this is one of the best ones that you can find. Oh, and also has one of these lovely trapdoors. But yeah, if you manage to survive this and get over to the village, you are rewarded handsomely with 3 diamonds and iron boots. You can make a diamond pickaxe and go mining right now, which is what I would recommend doing, because Crag Magnet is such a good bedrock seed finder that he's not only able to find these insane ends, and in some cases find insane things in the overworld too, but is able to line them up because there are trillions, or it's actually, there's sextillions of Minecraft seeds if we have to be technical, but there's so many Minecraft seeds that one of them has all of these insane things mashed together, which is why this next one is so interesting. Because if you loaded up a random seed and you already found what we've got so far, a stronghold underneath a village which is close to spawn, where you spawn on top of a villager outpost, that would already be a top 0.01% seed, but imagine combining it with this end, which again, technically someone might have done at some point in the past and just never shared it before, because this end is even more wild than the last one. If you want an end biome update, this is the seed to do it on, clearly. Look at this over here, look at this over here, look at the random blobs we have in midair, and then look at the fact that these are even taller end spikes and they're even more exposed. Like, how are you meant to do anything with this when the dragon flies down like that? It is so scary, but also one of the coolest. It's so cool, it literally caused my PC to crash as I did it, and you know, that is something that won't actually happen to you. It's, I believe, a driver error issue, but the fact that you can see Minecraft behind my blue screen, that's pretty cool, huh? Anyway, we'll get back to showing off Minecraft seeds in a second, once my PC resets. Okay, I am back and I'm excited to show you this final end, which has just been described to me as the OCD end, and I didn't need any more explanation. I wanted to go and see what that meant, but for now, let's enjoy the spawn area, which is Endless Ocean. Not necessarily my favorite thing, but you might get something for that. You might also get something from the fact that it's Endless Ocean with a mountain in the middle of it, and on the side of that mountain comes this, a village. Technically, the village spawned in the meadow biome, if you're curious as to how this exists, but most of it exists here on the stone beach, which is a really cool contrast to see, in my opinion. Also a cool contrast to see is when you get a blacksmith chest and immediately get 3 diamonds and a helmet. Wow, these blacksmith chests really are not pulling any punches. But if we go down below the main part of the village, do you know what we're gonna find down there? Whoa, are you surprised to learn that it is in fact a stronghold? You might also be surprised to learn that there is also an amethyst geode here. There is also as you can see, a dungeon just over here, and even more interestingly, there's an ancient city below all of that. So this is structure heaven if you want to find it all close together. I can't say that necessarily everyone does want that, but what you might prefer is the fact that if we just get 9 Eye of Enders, so 3 already in there is definitely the best of the ones so far, we'll be able to go and see together exactly what an OCD end is. I am very, very curious to say the least. And you know, I feel like it's probably not going to be as good, but it's going to be much more physically enjoyable, or maybe mentally enjoyable, because this is what an OCD end looks like. I'm guessing either the end is like nice and flat. It does make a, you know, it's rather than having random chunks, it's nice and out like there, but also, wait, I know what it is. It's the pillars themselves. They're arranged in order of size. So smallest, second smallest, third smallest, also these two are together, which is nice. 4th smallest, 5th smallest, 6th, all the way up to the biggest. That is so fun, actually. So this one up here, the very tallest, is 103 blocks, while the shortest is just next to it at 76 blocks, and there's a nice gradient going perfectly in between with a really, really nice spot. So 82 to 85 to 88, are they perfectly 3 blocks each as well? Yeah, 91 up to 94 up to 97. Oh, tell me it doesn't end. Up to 100 up to 103. It is amazing that it actually ends up being exactly 3 blocks up to the next one each time. How do you even find that with seed finding? I genuinely would love to know. It is insane how this sort of stuff happens. And yeah, if you want to see the wildest neat end, if you don't want to destroy your end but you just want to enjoy what you've got, this is clearly the one for you. I do have to say, this is a very, very, very interesting one, but it's not as interesting. It doesn't make me immediately want to load it up in survival. Let me know though, which of these 5 ends is your favorite? Are you going to be loading any of them up? And also, do you think I should start a new survival world, like a mini survival challenge, maybe a hardcore survival challenge on either the 3rd or the 4th seed? And if so, which one? Because I would love to start a new stream series. Maybe we do like, you know, like X days in survival, but they're all streamed live so you can tell that it is me surviving in ultra hardcore. Maybe we finally do the 200 days in ultra hardcore that everyone's been dreaming of. Let me know in the comments down below, because for now, I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Thank you for Crack Magnet for sending these in, and thank you to you for watching it and considering subscribing to the channel so you'll see more of these videos with more of these insanely bonkers seeds. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.